Welcome to another episode of the Senior Focus. Oftentimes you hear me say that the senior population is referred to as a silent majority and they should be silent no more. Well, just recently a event took place, a budget debate took place at the State House, and it was attended by a large group of seniors. And they voiced their discontent at what the proposed budget cuts were. I'm not quite certain that that is the way that they should go about it, but I think that rather than vote in people, listen to their rhetoric, a senior needs to inform themselves of what the facts are and make an informed decision and participate in the electoral process and vote in legislators that stand for the propositions that the seniors want to see, and to vote people in based upon the rhetoric that they hear, and then those legislators that are in office don't follow through with some of the things that the seniors think would be beneficial to the senior population, makes it much more difficult for them. Are you aware of the fact that the seniors disrupted the House session yesterday?
No, I just heard about it.
Yeah, there were, I'm not sure exactly how many, I think there were several hundred seniors that attended the budget debate, and it was a formal session of the House presided over by State Representative Paul Donato. He's a Democrat from Medford, and they began demonstrating, and they began saying things like, you say cut back, we say fight back, and we got sold out, banks got bailed out. And immediately upon the seniors standing up, many of them wearing Mass Senior Action Council t-shirts, blue t-shirts, the session was halted, and these seniors were escorted out of the hall, which is, I think, kind of interesting because apparently they were up in the balcony, so they had to go up a rather steep staircase. And, as far as I understand, some of them were, had walkers, some had canes, some were in wheelchairs. So I bet that was a real fiasco getting these people up. But, the reason that they were demonstrating, I think, was very valid, but I'm not quite certain that the way to have their demands met is by attending a budget debate and to demonstrate. They're talking about certain state and federal legislatures proposing cutbacks that are going to hurt all senior citizens. For instance, one of them would eliminate 13,500 Meals on Wheels. That's a really tremendous problem.
Huge. It's scary for seniors. A lot of them rely on Meals on Wheels for their nutrition.
When we talk about having a senior enrolled in the PACE program with Summit Elder Care, one of the services that we ordinarily will have people enroll in is the Meals on Wheels program. So if Meals on Wheels eliminates 13,500 meals, I think that eligibility for participation in the PACE program for all-inclusive care for the elderly, is going to be much more difficult, and you know how important that is.
Nick, we see clients in our office who will come to us and have that one spouse who cares for that spouse, their spouse at home, and is trying to do the best they can to take care of them. Part of that sometimes is the Meals on Wheels program to provide nutritious meals for them at home, so that the husband or the wife isn't, we'll say, having to deal with cooking meals on top of trying to provide care for their loved one at home. This is a great program. It's really sad to see that that would be one of the proposed budget cuts.
And not only that, but oftentimes a caregiver needs to go to work. They have to work, whether it's 30 hours, 40 hours, part-time, full-time, whatever the case might be. And they are in fear of leaving, a parent in their home. So if someone delivers a Meals on Wheels, at least there is some socialization that can occur, and the person can be looked, can be looked after, not for an extended period of time, but the person delivering the Meals on Wheels can, make sure that the person's okay. The person won't be all along all day long, and they would be if they cut back this Meals on Wheels.
It's a sad situation to see that would possibly want to be one of the proposed budget cuts.
Another proposed budget cut would be to reduce state assistance for prescription drugs for seniors. I know that they tried to reduce or eliminate prescription advantage. It hasn't happened. The attempt to reduce the budget and to cut that program out has occurred. They've tried a number of times, but it's always seemed to find life. It's always been a program that has been adopted and it remains. But they also want to provide or cut benefits for prescription drugs for seniors.
Another thing that we see on a regular basis, we've had many of the clients that have come to our office and have to choose whether they get their food this week, whether they pay their rent this week, and now if they do another budget cut like this for prescription drugs for seniors, another sad situation that seniors are put into, having to deal with.
Well, you hear talk a lot of times about, people being forced into a situation where they either have to decide medicine or they have to decide, whether they're going to eat a balanced meal or food. And then all of a sudden we see these cutbacks and the Meals on Wheels seems to be, on the table for cuts. The prescription drug program on the table for cuts. The idea that a senior really would be forced into a situation where they either take their medicine or they would eat a well-rounded meal seems to be a much more likely scenario now, because we know that the costs of everything are basically, I don't want to say exploding, but exploding.
Especially prescription drugs. We say I've been to the pharmacy to pick up my mom's and seen an increase by probably, I'd say, 40% in some of her drugs that she currently takes. That's how high they've gone in their prices, and she's forced to pay that. She needs the drugs, has to have them. It's one of her prescriptions, and yet I'll call the doctor and say to the doctor quite frequently, is there a generic form? Is there some other thing that she can take to make ends meet, to be able to provide everything she needs to have within that month?
What about food costs?
Same thing, going up so much. And they have to decide, do they pay for their drugs? Do they get this, we'll say, milk for the week? Do they get whatever it is for them to be able to make ends meet? It's all, in a sense, we won't say being taken away, but the cutbacks are so severe in some areas that seniors are feeling it all the way around.
And like I said at the top of the program, the way for a senior to address these issues, not necessarily showing up at a budget debate at the State House and shouting out certain slogans and chanting protest slogans, but inform themselves of what the facts are and what the people that are running for office actually stand for. Not listen to their rhetoric, but look into the facts and make an informed decision. And as we know, the presidential election is coming up. People need to really inform themselves and vote in the candidate that they think is going to help their cause. Not follow the rhetoric, vote in whoever it is that says what you like, but you don't really look at what the facts are. And then when what you wanted to have happen isn't happening, go to the State House and voice some kind of a demonstration in a budget debate.
You hope it happens before then, that they voted in the people that they're most confident in where hopefully the politicians stand for what they say and do, and that you're voting in the right person. But they have the voice just to vote in itself, and that's the key, to get out there and vote for who you think is going to best represent the needs that you have.
That's specifically what I refer to when I say silent majority should be silent no more. I'm not saying civil disobedience. I'm not saying get out there and demonstrate at budget hearings, that type of thing. I'm trying to get the senior population to mobilize themselves, organize themselves, and go out, find out what the facts are, determine who the legislators are that they want to vote for, and put those people in office. Not wait until, it's kind of like if you wait and you spring into action after the fact, which is what we see in our practice all the time, right? It's too late. Same thing with the election. Now they have time to figure out who it is that they're interested in voting for and inform themselves and go out there and participate in the electoral process.
It does sound, though, I mean, and I'm not saying it was a good thing that seniors disrupt the House session,
Right.
but they're trying to be heard. Hopefully they can find their way to, let's say, put the right people in office that will stand for them.
Right. Well, I think that this particular demonstration was organized by, at least in large part, by the Massachusetts Senior Council, Senior Action Council, and I think it would be far more effective if that council, that organization, mobilized and organized the seniors to go out and vote. Not necessarily solely for the purpose to organize them for the purpose of demonstrating, organize them for the purpose of voting for the people that are going to do what you need done. Because it is a democratic process, and the person with the most votes is the one that's going to win. So you have to be very careful with who you put in office. I mean, I see them saying things like, we got sold out, the banks got bailed out. Well, if they really feel that way, they can go do something about it by voting in people who are not going to do the large stimulus programs. Another thing that that they are concerned about is increased waiting lists for home care, which I think with the Mass Senior Action Council, not only seniors, but also the disabled. There are so many people who need home health care. I was sick, I was fortunate. I had the support of loved ones, family, and maybe things were a little bit easier for me just because I could rely on them. There are people out there that can't rely on anyone. They don't have anyone. They need state services to be able to provide for themselves just basic necessities. If we see that these particular programs are proposed to be cut, what's going to happen to a vulnerable segment of society that needs these public benefits?
Sad part is the goal for most people is to stay in their homes as long as possible, hopefully forever.
Everyone wants that.
And that's their wishes, and to see that there could possibly be wait lists for home care, that's even worse in a way, because how do you deal with the home care if there's a wait list, you aren't able to get services, then in a sense you're forced to look at facilities.
There's a wait list right now for home care.
Really?
There is, yeah.
That's sad.
The last thing that I want to talk about is the fares on the MBTA, RTA, public transportation. When seniors say that the escalation in the proposed fare hikes unreasonably ride on the back of seniors, they're not kidding. Looking at some of the numbers, a senior monthly pass goes from $20 to $40 a month. That's a 100% increase. If you take a look at the senior TAP, either the bus route or the subway route, we're talking in excess of 100% increase.
Huge.
The ride, we're talking, either about a 200% increase up to about a 500% increase. And the time to address these issues isn't after the fact that the elections take place. It's before the elections take place. So you can have representatives in place that are going to advocate for the positions that you want adopted. To have people in office that are going to vote against what your interests are, and then you don't like what is happening, and then you go in, I think it's a far more difficult scenario to change someone's opinion after the fact than to get someone in there in the first instance who thinks like you do. We're going to head to a break right now. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Lisa Phillips. She's the Activities Director at Pakachoag Gardens.
Millbury Healthcare Center is a highly respected 5-star deficiency-free skilled nursing and rehabilitation center. We are renowned for our compassionate care and specialty programming, making it possible for your next step, returning home. We listen and take the time to understand your goals. We provide support and the tools needed to safely prepare for your transition home. Millbury Healthcare Center is the community choice for skilled nursing and rehabilitation.
Do you have medications at home that you don't use anymore and you're wondering how to dispose of them? Safe disposal of prescription drugs protects children from accidental ingestion, as well as prevents prescription drug abuse or misuse. National Prescription Take-Back Day will be held on Saturday, April 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Worcester Senior Center. Bring any medications that you don't use anymore for safe disposal. This service is free and anonymous, no questions asked. Call us at 508-799-8531 for more information.
Promotional message provided by the City of Worcester and Charter TV3.
Does your loved one suffer from memory impairment, dementia, or Alzheimer's disease? Consider Dodge Park Rest Home in Worcester. Our geriatric medical team and nursing staff are available 24 hours a day. We offer medication administration and incontinence care with dignity. Our activity programs are designed to engage and stimulate the mind. And with Dodge Park Rest Home, you can better protect your estate and save your assets with only a 1-year look back. Your loved one will feel safe and at home with Dodge Park Rest Home of Worcester.
Are you searching for health answers? Want to find the best local healthcare specialists? Go to chartertv3.com. Our weekly Health Watch covers all the local health news you need to know. Go to chartertv3.com and click on worcester.md. You can find the best local healthcare professionals, get articles, watch videos, and rate your doctor all with one click. So tune in to Charter TV3 or go online to chartertv3.com/health and access the best local health resources. Charter TV3 and chartertv3.com. Always on.
Charter On Demand presents How to Turn Your Home into a Movie Theater. Find your Charter remote and pick it up. Locate Channel 1 and get thumb ready for action. Press Channel 1 while carefully clutching a bowl of popcorn. Select a category and start enjoying top movies whenever you want on Charter On Demand, many the same day they're released on DVD. Check out this month's newest on-demand choices. Repeat frequently for full entertainment effect. Go to Channel 1 and find your favorite flicks on demand.
Menopause the Musical, the hilarious celebration of women and the change. Coming to the Hanover Theater, May 1st and 2nd only. Boston Globe writes, by all means, go and have a rollicking girls' night out. Liz Smith of the New York Post raves, it's impossible not to laugh. And Joy Behar of The View says, you'll love it, it's hilarious, go see it. Kick up your heels and join the fun. A G4 production.
I'm Andy Lacombe from Worcester News Tonight. Thank you for choosing Charter.
Welcome back to the Senior Focus, and joining us is Lisa Phillips. Hello, Lisa.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So we were talking about the budget debate and the demonstration at the State House. Just in closing, I'll say that the reason the seniors are so adamantly against the budget cuts is that their position is these budget cuts weren't necessitated by the actions of the seniors and having to spend all this additional income on the needs for seniors and the disabled. They say it's because of cost overruns for the big dig. And they say, why should we be penalized because you went over budget on the big dig? So in any event, that's enough of the political talk. We're going to talk about You're Never Too Old to Play.
Elder Care 2012.
Elder Care 2012.
That will be on May 8th from 10 to 3 at the Manor. It's a free event. We actually are one of the contributing sponsors. We normally do that and the Senior Spectacular every year. We will be there, so I'm very excited. You will not. We will.
I will not.
Nick will not be with us.
I will not be with you.
But we do have Elder and Disability Law Advocates as contributing sponsor. We are presenting 2 seminars that day.
You know, it's exactly in line with what we oftentimes say that, you know, a senior, it's knowledge is power. You got to get out there. You got to inform yourself. Like I said, don't just, you know, listen to the rhetoric and make your decisions based upon, you know, what someone says. actually go out there and find out what the facts are. This is a tremendous opportunity that seniors have before them to find out certain things that would definitely affect the senior population.
Lisa, have you ever attended the Elder Care or Senior Spectacular?
No, I have not.
Okay. I can tell you a little bit about it.
Okay.
Normally, I think that Elder Care runs about 600 to 800 seniors throughout Worcester County come. Some of them by bus from the senior centers. Some of them come just on their own that have heard about it, whether it be through us, through radio, through TV. They really publicize it. I believe it's in the Telegram
And again,
as well.
it's not geographically restricted, so someone can come from anywhere and they're welcome to attend the Elder Care.
We have had, I know that people from Gardner have actually been bussed in from the Gardner Senior Center. That's how far away. And it doesn't sound like far, but it is a far ride, about an hour to come to this. But it's a wonderful event. There's over 60 exhibiting organizations. So it would be various community service programs that are offered, companies that, whether it be a home care company, a law firm like ours, Elder Services, Central Mass Agency on Aging, again, one of the contributing sponsors as well. All different people come together to offer as much as they can to seniors in one area so that they are able to find out about all different types of services. I know every year usually the Attorney General's office is there, whether it be hearing aid services. They always have quite a few hearing aid companies there. Home
They
health
provide
aid programs.
screenings there. So,
they do.
Yeah, a senior can go there for the purpose of participating in a number of screenings, whether it's high blood pressure,
diabetes check, stress relief. They have probably, I think, 6 different areas that you can go to find out about during the day itself. They also have 3 presentations that they offer during the day. The first one's 10:30 to 11. It's Don't Go Broken in a Nursing Home. One of our attorneys, Carol Batten, will be presenting that. And what it is, basically a presentation of what you don't know about paying for nursing home care could cost you your life savings and force you to sell your home. We see that so often. So we're doing a short presentation on that.
Everything is about a person springing into action and planning for the future. The longer they delay, and if there is delay, and they procrastinate and they don't put in force a plan to help them for the future, these kind of things are more likely to happen than if they had just planned, then they wouldn't have to worry about that.
There's another presentation, Nick, from 11:30 to 12:30, which I'm going to go to. I pray there's quiet then, because I really want to go to this. It's mindfulness meditation in everyday life.
If I was here, I'd go to that one too.
I know. I think we need it. Him and I especially. I'm really excited about that. That one's really learning about to alleviate pain and stresses in everyday life. And Diane Camilla, she's a senior teacher at the Center for Mindfulness and Medicine, Healthcare and Society at UMass Medical School. And I know that she is one of the big teachers at that program at UMass.
We had
Lynn Gerritz.
That's right, on Monday on the radio
on WCRN.
show.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think she does the same kind of thing. They're both from UMass.
Lynn is taking this course actually from
Okay.
Diane. She
Okay.
mentioned that, and
Okay.
she said it's a great course. So I really am excited for this. I hope I can attend it. We have another presentation from 1 to 1:30, Strategies for Seniors, Legal Planning, VA Benefits, and More for Your Future. That's going to be presented by Attorney Kathy Ciccani, another attorney from our office, and that's basically about if your assets will last for a lifetime, VA benefits, how to plan for the future.
I think those are probably the most popular
They are.
topics
They
that
are.
they, I can remember in the past when we've done them, it was standing room only. At one, they had to close the doors
88
because
people, yeah.
so many people wanted to come in and listen to what was said.
Especially VA benefits. That's huge.
Tremendous opportunity to find information, whether it's the VA, whether it's Mass Health or some other public agency. They're not going to knock down your door and let you know, hey, this is what you have to do. If the senior educates themselves they're able to, develop a situation where they get eligibility established so that they're entitled to these benefits.
I want to mention too, at this one seminar from 1 to 1:30, we will be handing out our free Be Organized, Be Prepared kits. Extremely popular. Every time we bring them, people are coming before the seminars even begin, and please can I get one of those kits? And we normally say we're going to have to wait till after the seminar because then we've handed them all out and
Right.
don't have any more. So we're very excited about that. They also have easy yoga to ease pain. They have ballroom dancing.
Yeah,
And
all,
then
all about entertainment.
entertainment, yes, and drumming about you. I'm not sure what that is, but we'll find out there. So
Well, I think that in the past when we've been there, they play music and
They
there's
do.
dancing.
Ballroom dances.
Yeah.
They're
And
interesting
I
to
think
watch,
that's the kind
actually.
of thing.
yeah, it's very nice. I think that they have like an Arthur Murray studio or something like that where
Right.
professional ballroom dancers come.
a couple,
Yeah, and
right.
most of them are actually elderly couples who are out there dancing. It's really nice to watch. It is. They also at 2:30 do their raffle announcements because all of the exhibiting sponsors,
yeah.
exhibitors that are there have a raffle, and you go and sign up at each table. So there's
That's probably the most.
It is. It's
the-
a long list
yeah,
of people.
yeah.
Let me tell
That's
you.
the most popular event of the day. I
It
think.
is. At the end, everybody waits for those raffle
freebies.
prizes. They do. Yep, they do. But they do have the grip strength, strength analysis, glucose, medication review, blood pressure check. So they have health screenings and all different things for people. It's like a, what do we say, one-stop shopping. Yeah, in
right.
one day, and you get as much information as you can. You go out of there literally with a bag that's filled to the top because they hand you this big, huge bag, and you hit every single exhibitor booth and you find out information. Whether you need the information that day or 5 years down the road or 3 months down the road, it's at your access, your fingertips. So you can go back to it and say, hey, I talked to someone about this particular whatever's going on, whether it be I need a home health agency or hearing aids or blood pressure check. So many different things that you can look into in one area in one day. So it's just a fantastic
For
thing.
the health screenings, I presume people from UMass are. Same fees there this year?
No, well, yes, it is. Yep, I did read that. St. Vincent Hospital, UMass Memorial Medical Center, Fallon Community Health Plan
Yep.
will be there. Central Mass Agency on Aging. I believe those are the sponsors, and then we are part of the contributing sponsors as
It's
well.
a tremendous opportunity for people to find out what it is that they need to find out for themselves. A tremendous thing. Another symposium that I want to talk about, another event that I want to talk about is the Heart of the Matter.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
We are. We're very proud that we are honored, I'll say, to present 4 symposia a year. I know that Lisa was part of our last one. I was so pleased to see her there, so excited. And you were part of the Auburn VNA Health Network.
Yes,
As
I
one of the
was.
exhibitors, and it was, and actually contributing sponsors. It was a wonderful day. We have fantastic doctors from UMass presenting about living well with cancer, and we have our new one June 20th, The Heart of the Matter, Facing the Challenges of Heart Disease and Stroke Prevention. So we're really excited about that one.
That's gonna be
like
very popular,
an
very
overwhelming
popular.
amount of people who either face heart disease or have family members who have it, and you know that it is a, we'll say, hereditary. If someone has heart disease in your family, chances are you may have it,
Right.
and not right away, but ongoing and could happen in the future. What better way than to learn about the advancements
For
in heart
elder
disease?
care, it's open to the public. I
It
mean,
is.
the Heart of the Matter is open to the public
Free
as
of
well.
charge.
And they're both, like you say, free of charge. But for the Heart of the Matter, they do need to call and register
They do.
because we're limited in the number of people that can attend.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody wanted to attend, what, how could they
They can
contact
either
you?
contact our office at 508-755-6525, or they can visit our website. It's edlalaw.com.
And on the website, there's a lot of information about the event, right?
There's right on the front page, right when you open our website, you'll see a banner talks about the Heart of the Matter and our upcoming event, and a place you can sign up. And we also have 2 other symposia that they can sign up for as well.
And the other 2 symposia
Is September 18th.
Yeah.
It's Living Well with Joint Replacement, and it's the focus on advancements in arthritis. And that's an orthopedic one in September. And then November 7th is our focus on Alzheimer awareness, a huge one. That's a very big one.
I really enjoyed going.
Did
as well.
you? You went to that
I-
one. 268 people. We had a huge event. It was wonderful.
I thought it was very interesting, a lot of information.
Good.
And I tried to share that knowledge with other people so that they can also call, because it's free.
It is.
So all you have to do is sign up.
Yeah, and I think the heart of the matter is going to be that much more in demand and that much more popular, and it's going to provide a lot of great information for people. All they have to do is show up.
Right, right.
So in any event, it's time for us to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about adult daycare.
Okay.
Does your loved one suffer from memory impairment, dementia, or Alzheimer's disease? Consider Dodge Park Rest Home in Worcester. Our geriatric medical team and nursing staff are available 24 hours a day. We offer medication administration and incontinence care with dignity. Our activity programs are designed to engage and stimulate the mind. And with Dodge Park Rest Home, you can better protect your estate and save your assets with only a 1-year look back. Your loved one will feel safe and at home with Dodge Park Rest Home of Worcester.
Millbury Healthcare Center is a highly respected 5-star deficiency-free skilled nursing and rehabilitation center. We are renowned for our compassionate care and specialty programming, making it possible for your next step, returning home. We listen and take the time to understand your goals. We provide support and the tools needed to safely prepare for your transition home. Millbury Healthcare Center is the community choice for skilled nursing and rehabilitation.
Are you searching for health answers? Want to find the best local healthcare specialists? Go to chartertv3.com. Our weekly health watch covers all the local health news you need to know. Go to chartertv3.com and click on worcester.md. You can find the best local healthcare professionals, get articles, watch videos, and rate your doctor all with one click. So tune in to Charter TV3 or go online to chartertv3.com/health and access the best local health resources. Charter TV3 and chartertv3.com. Always on.
When we walk together, we are bigger than cancer. Join the world's biggest fight for more birthdays, the American Cancer Society Relay for Life. Find your community's event at relayforlife.org.
Consider donating new or gently used books at sites around Worcester for the 6th annual Worcester, the City That Reads book drive. The committee hopes to collect 26,000 books this year, with the goal to provide summer reading material to children who may not otherwise have access to books. The books for children in pre-kindergarten through grade 8 are being accepted at this time. Donations are accepted at the following locations, and book collections are also being held by Worcester Public High Schools, Worcester colleges and universities, private schools, and organizations.
I'm Kristen Doucette from Worcester News Tonight. Thank you for choosing Charter.
Welcome back to the Senior Focus. I'm here with Donna Osterguy, the client manager at Elder and Disability Law Advocates, and Lisa Phillips, the activities director at Pakachoag Gardens. And of course, I'm your host, Nick Alsis. We already had indicated what your title is. What is an adult daycare center?
An adult daycare center is a place where people can go from the hours. Our particular program starts at 8. It goes till 4. It's a place where people can do their very best, bring out the very best of them, and socialize. We do a variety of activities, and also give the caregiver some respite. And we also serve meals, or there are meals served there.
Sure.
There's a nursing component as well.
Are there different kinds of adult daycare centers?
There is. The one that I work at is a medical component, but there is also a social daycare. The difference between the two is that there's a nurse on staff.
And what kind of things do you do?
We do a variety of things.
Okay.
It's never a dull day there. I try to bring out the best in each participant. I try to find out what their likes are and what their dislikes are, and work within that. Try and match them with personalities within Pakachoag Gardens, and figure out what we could do together as a group. So just really basically bringing out the best in each individual.
And keeping them socially interactive throughout the day. I know that recently I had a family friend who needed some, we'll say, adult daycare. It was someone in my family, both the wife and husband worked all day long and needed to find somewhere. I've had the opportunity to go and tour Pakachoag Gardens, which I say honestly, I have no problem referring our clients to. It was a wonderful facility. It was very warm. You're very passionate in your job, and I see that in who you are, and that was one of the reasons that I did refer this person there. And you made such a great transition, I'll be honest with you, because this gentleman did not want to go, wanted no part of daycare. And in a sense, you gave him a little job to do, so it didn't feel like it was daycare for him. He felt he was going there to help out. And what better way to get someone interacting and wanting to be there as opposed to forcing them to go. So you made the lives of the people who work daily much easier, because now their loved one wants to go there every day. So it's almost a perfect opportunity to be able to, in a sense, take care of that person, make sure that they're fed, well cared for, aren't home alone all day long. Be able to go to work and know with ease of mind that you're not worried about that person, and on top of that, they love it there and enjoy it and want to be there. They get up and say, when am I going to the country club?
The country club.
The country club, that's what he calls it.
What do you say to someone if they say to you, hey, look, my dad, my mom is not a social person, does not want to go to the daycare center? Is this something that, that you tell these people that alleviates their concerns?
Well, first thing I would say is that we don't force anybody to go. That's a choice that they have to make on their own. The second thing is I think people just need to come into the facility to see what we offer. And I think also just coming in maybe for the day just to see if there's a fit there with the person and the facility, and see if they're comfortable, because once they get in, they fall in love. Yeah, we're very welcoming there.
There's a number of different ways, and I don't know which ways those are, but I know there are different ways that you make people feel welcome and it's a friendly atmosphere. So even though there might be people that feel that they don't want to participate, they don't want to go to adult daycare, you're right. A lot of people that have come into the office said the same thing. We don't want to go to adult daycare. But then afterwards we find out, they come back and they tell us, whether it's an adult child or a spouse, that the person that's there, that the patient loves the particular facility.
Well, we've had both situations. We had one situation where there was a potential participant who wanted to come, her daughter wanted her to come to the program, and she did not want to come. But she did give it a shot. And unfortunately it didn't work out, and that does happen, and it is the participant's or the person's choice to come into an adult day health center or wherever. On the other hand, we do have people, as you're talking about, and he has adjusted very well, very well. He's an asset to the program.
So you're an activities director.
Yes.
What kind of activities, what kind of things do you do?
We do everything. We do the usual puzzles, bingo, word searches, a lot of mind games, concentration. I try to do artwork. We do music programs. We sing. I love to cook, so we do cook.
Do you have anything special planned for the 4th of July?
Not yet.
Not yet. But you will. You will, though, right?
Of course. Actually, tomorrow we have something special.
Okay, and that is what?
It's volunteer appreciation. It's month, but it was last week. The Auburn VNA Health Network, did have a nice gathering for all of the volunteers. However, I wanted to do something for the volunteers who come to Pakachoag Gardens. So myself and also the staff and the participants have made cards and pictures and centerpieces, and we're making them a nice meal tomorrow. We have 7 volunteers coming with the participants, and we're going to have a nice dinner and just really enjoy the day and embrace volunteering because it's a wonderful thing.
Now, you said staff a number of times. What is the staff there? What's the staff comprised of?
The staff is comprised of Michelle, who is an RN, and Rusty, who is a home health aide. Both women are just a delight to work with and for. We have a wonderful relationship. I actually have worked in this field for quite a while, and I have to say that this is probably the best team that I've worked with.
So there's a registered nurse.
A registered nurse, who is also the program director.
Okay.
And Rusty.
And Rusty is again?
Rusty, she's a home health aide.
A home health aide. And then the volunteers as well.
Yeah.
And yourself,
Myself,
of course.
Yeah. And then we have volunteers. We have 7 volunteers.
If someone says, you know what, I would want to consider adult daycare for, a parent or spouse or something, what are some of the factors that these people might consider in determining if this is something that is appropriate for their loved one?
I think they should just come in and, you have to have a comfort level.
Right.
So I think they should come in and see.
So, like, for instance, if someone has either part-time or full-time employment, that's the kind of thing that would bode in favor of finding a place where the person's comfortable and spending time there, I would presume.
Yes.
And really getting to see what the facility's about. Do you know what I mean? I've been fortunate to go and see Pakachoag Gardens and know what you're about. So for me, I would want to make sure that my parent had the same level of comfort that I have, and that it's a great place to be, that you see that there's interaction, that the people welcome you with open arms and want you to be part of, in a sense, a quote family, because that's what it's about. You're leaving your loved one with this facility every day. You have to have that same comfort level in a sense that they have, so that you can go to work with peace of mind knowing that it's okay. And I can only tell you great things that I've heard from my family members who have one of their family members there. It's just a fantastic place, and I would want that place to be like a family for my family member.
What's the profile of a typical participant in the program?
Oh boy, that's the gamut.
Okay. I mean, do you have 35-year-old people in there? Do you have 50-year-old people in there? What does a typical profile kind of look like? Is there one? Is there not one?
The majority of people are over 70.
Okay.
We do have 2 younger people. I have to say younger because I'm in that 50 age group now. So.
What about in the event someone is cognitively impaired, whether they have Alzheimer's or some other form of dementia? Is adult day care the type of program that is suitable for those people as well?
I think that anybody is welcome. I think that they have to fit into the program. Some people could be intimidated that everyone is over 70. Maybe there's not a connection there, an age connection. So I don't know. That's a hard thing to say.
Are there locked, secured units?
In a nursing.
Is that just in a nursing home?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know in a nursing home there are locked units for safety.
I think that as far as their program goes, that they have a lot of one-on-one, where yours is not the big, huge, massive program with hundreds of people, which is better in my eyes. I would rather have that smaller program, in all honesty. So I think that there's such an amount of one-on-one time that you're able, in a sense, to watch that. So if it does, you do take someone, say, with Alzheimer's, or have someone join the program with dementia, your fear is not that they're going to take off and run and you'll never find them again, as it can happen. Like, you even have your area where you have little barbecues that I noticed, which is really nice, a little patio area. It's a question of that they have enough people on staff to make sure that something like that wouldn't occur. Not necessarily a locked facility, but...
Well, we do have the doors alarmed.
Okay,
They
that is
are alarmed.
exactly what I meant.
Yes, okay.
We're going to head to a break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about other ways that participants can benefit from adult daycare.
Millbury Healthcare Center is a highly respected 5-star deficiency-free skilled nursing and rehabilitation center. We are renowned for our compassionate care and specialty programming, making it possible for your next step, returning home. We listen and take the time to understand your goals. We provide support and the tools needed to safely prepare for your transition home. Millbury Healthcare Center is the community choice for skilled nursing and rehabilitation.
Does your loved one suffer from memory impairment, dementia, or Alzheimer's disease? Consider Dodge Park Rest Home in Worcester. Our geriatric medical team and nursing staff are available 24 hours a day. We offer medication administration and incontinence care with dignity. Our activity programs are designed to engage and stimulate the mind. And with Dodge Park Rest Home, you can better protect your estate and save your assets with only a 1-year look back. Your loved one will feel safe and at home with Dodge Park Rest Home of Worcester.
Menopause the Musical, the hilarious celebration of women and the change. Coming to the Hanover Theater, May 1st and 2nd only. Boston Globe writes, by all means, go and have a rollicking girls' night out. Liz Smith of the New York Post raves, it's impossible not to laugh. And Joy Behar of The View says, you'll love it, it's hilarious, go see it. Kick up your heels and join the fun. A G4 production.
Tired of weather reports that don't focus on Central Mass? Introducing Worcester Weather, the only video weather report for Worcester. Worcester Weather is easily accessible 24/7 by visiting chartertv3.com and is updated throughout the day to give you the best video forecast possible. Worcester Weather also airs at 5 p.m. during the Jordan Levy Show and every Worcester News Tonight telecast. Worcester Weather gives you the local forecast you have always wanted. Worcester Weather on Charter TV3 and chartertv3.com. Brought to you by Berterra Nissan of Auburn.
I'm Andy Lacombe from Worcester News Tonight. Thank you for choosing Charter.
Welcome back to the Senior Focus and our conversation with Lisa Phillips, the Activity Director at Pakachoag Gardens, and Donna Oscar, Client Manager at Elder and Disability Law Advocates. We're talking about how a participant can benefit through participation in adult daycare. Mm-hmm. What benefits, other than the ones we've talked about, how can someone benefit by participating in the daycare center?
Maybe some of your particular cases where you've really reached out to someone and made a difference.
Right.
Okay. I have a couple to share with you. Mm-hmm. One of them is one of our participants who, I've been with the program about a year and a half, and I've had the opportunity to spend, like you said, one-on-one time with different people. And we have one gentleman who's very artistic. Mm-hmm. And I have talked to him about bringing out his artistic ability. So every day we've tried doing something different. I have kept all of his artwork in a folder, and then recently we had an art show, and he was so excited. Mm-hmm. He does beautiful artwork. I actually wanted to make cards to give, as thank you to mm-hmm. different people, whatever, and I asked permission for that, and he said that would be fine. Mm-hmm. But it was just a joyous day because you could see how the artwork has changed from scribbling to really beautiful, focused, meaningful, and he's just delighted with him. So it's brought his confidence level up. He feels really good about himself, mm-hmm. And he's making some really nice choices.
The idea of social interaction as well. How many people are in your center? Approximately.
Currently,
Yeah.
there's about 12.
Okay.
We have a small group.
So rather than, and I would presume that the number fluctuates, goes up, goes down,
Yes.
and there can be larger centers, smaller centers. Rather than someone being alone or with one caregiver day after day after day, they're exposed, I would assume, to all the people in the center.
Can you imagine if this gentleman, though, think about it, was home alone all day long, and what you've given to him, the confidence and the ability to do something and feel good about himself, that's fantastic. That's something that would touch me as that family member to say, wow, my dad has improved this much because of the fact that this is what they brought out in him. What a wonderful thing, as opposed to no social interaction all day long, maybe in front of the TV all day long,
Right.
maybe not having a nutritious meal, not being cared for, blood pressure checks or whatever it is that the health provider, the nurse can provide for your daycare center. What a wonderful thing that is.
Right, yeah.
Peace of mind, certainly, for the family.
Let's talk about some of the social activities. I presume there are certain crafts that you have people become involved in, and
sorry.
what would that be?
Well, I think I do a calendar, a monthly calendar, and I base that on whatever's going on for the month. So for
Okay.
instance, the end of the month is Memorial Day. So we will do something patriotic, whether it's we will make flags or a pin, or we'll make a patriotic cake with whipped cream and strawberries and blueberries, or whether we'll just talk about what it means to be patriotic. So
Is there an exercise component to get people to exercise?
there certainly is.
Okay.
I'm a certified.
And what does that look like?
I'm a certified senior fitness instructor.
Okay.
So every morning we exercise.
Exercise is so
We
important.
exercise, yes. And I'm
People
very.
don't realize how important exercise actually is.
I've seen miraculous results as well since I have started at the program. People who, couldn't move their shoulders or couldn't get up from the chair are able to do things more independent, and that's really what it's all about. Because if you just sit back and let yourself just go, all the muscles atrophy and you become weak, and then you are dependent on everybody else, including a wheelchair. So it's a wonderful thing to see. We have it every day for about 15 minutes.
Do you have field trips?
I wish we had field trips.
Okay. So, I guess I know the answer to that question then, huh?
We're working on it. It was talked about to put in the budget that we could take people
What
out.
about music therapy?
We're in Pakachoag Church.
Yeah.
And there is the Pakachoag music program there. Pakachoag Music School. That's what I want to say.
Okay.
So they have been very generous, and if we make a connection, so they will come at different times and bring children. Or we had the milkman who delivers the milk, Bob. He sang for us.
Yeah.
That was fun. Or I might just go out in the community and meet someone, and
I wonder
before
if
you
it's
know
the
it.
same Bob that has been on our show before, and I asked him once to sing, and
No.
he broke out in beautiful verse.
That's Bob Dwyer, who we love.
We have a lot of different stimulating music programs as well. People come in, lots of volunteers come in and help.
What about, we'll say, are there any pets that are there? Pet therapy, dogs, cats, anything like that? Seniors love pets.
Oh yes, and babies.
And babies. As well.
Very much, very much.
Well, we've introduced both of those things. We don't have someone consistent.
Yeah.
They have to be, like a certified dog or something to come into the program. But we do have families who bring their dogs, or someone will just bring a dog. And as long as it's not, as long as it's safe and it's had its shots, then it's okay to bring it through the program.
What about gardening? Is there room for gardening, that type of thing?
There is a potential for a garden. We are going to be we did plant seeds last year. We then transplanted them we had a garden area because we just recently moved. We don't really have a garden area, but there sounds like they're working on something. So we might get a piece of a garden spot.
Lisa, what
at the
about
church.
any other particular stories about Pakachoag Gardens that have really touched you that actually viewers could listen to? Because that makes a difference when you hear a story of someone who actually flourishes and does very, very well with a program like this. I know that you've talked to me in the past about it.
Another story that I would like to share with you is of a woman who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And when you say the word flourish, she flourished in her own way, in her own capacity. Unfortunately, she passed away a couple of months ago, but everybody drew together, and we made the family a meal. We made them a meal with the whole, an entree, a dinner, homemade bread, and wine. so they knew that we were thinking of them. And it was just, we prayed, we had, people come from the outside in and just help us get through that time. But she was an incredible person, and we all loved her, and everybody was just so taken back by her death. So we embraced it, and we celebrated, and we talked about it, and the family has just kept in touch with us, and they've been very generous with things.
Do you use cooking at all as, a therapeutic instrument?
Yes. Anything that enhances the senses.
So it's not only that you would cook, but you'll allow them to cook as well?
They do all the cooking.
Okay.
I'm the supervisor.
Lastly, cost. What can someone expect to have to pay for this kind of service?
Well, the cost is, it's structured according to, whether you're a private pay or whether it's Medicare, Medicaid. That is something that you can discuss with Michelle Bowles. She's the RN program director. She can assist you with that.
Yeah.
Transportation is also, it's not included in the daily rate.
Right.
So that's an addition. So she could definitely help you with that.
Right. I think also the issue of transportation, whether it's something from Elder Services or some other public benefit, there's a number of different services that would be available to help someone through this process. But like I say, a person needs to be proactive and find out what it is that they can and cannot do, rather than sit back and procrastinate at the very last moment, then reach out and try to figure things out. Procrastination is a very terrible thing.
And what's your number if they were interested in calling Pakachoag Gardens, Lisa?
The number is 508-753-3815.
Very good.
Well, I think we're basically at the end of today's show, Donna. Lisa, thank you for coming in today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity.
It's very important, like I said, that people educate themselves on those issues that are going to affect them in their lives, and find out what the facts are, and then act on those facts. One of the things they can do, like we said, go to what's it called, the Elder Care 2012. Go to the symposiums. There are a number of different ways that a person can become educated as to what it is that's going to affect them. Thank you very much for today's show, and we'll see you next week at the Senior Focus.